Then, we're talking about bots now. Who has already built a bot? Okay, guys. Then, the second part of the conversation should be pretty interesting for people who have already built bots, because we are trying to take them to the next stage. And and for the people who didn't bring any up, I will give some valuable resources so that you can start your journey with bots, with baby steps, and how to make your bots shine so that they provide a great user experience. Then this talk is it's a lot about lessons learned while creating bots. My job at DevNet, DevNet is Cisco's developer program. My job at DevNet is mostly to help developers to put their hands on Cisco APIs, all Cisco APIs. We've got more than 80. And I am very specialized on collaboration APIs. It means how to have human interactions. Then it's messages and video too. Then in this talk, at the end of this talk, I will talk a bit about what video means, and maybe your bot can do more than just texting. Maybe it can also engage with users through video. There are some examples of everything I will show is on my GitHub. Then just feel free to jump there. I do a Node.js, a lot of Node.js at the moment, but I love also Golang, and I do some Python a bit. Then let's go. What's on the menu? How to take you from zero to building bots and seeing what will be the difficulties on your journey, what to use. I will use a lot of demos with the platform we have at Cisco, but the concepts are exactly the same, and the framework I will use is multi-platform. It's called Botkit, and it helps you go to any platform. Then for any Slack users or any other platform users, you can use the same Botkit framework. Then, how does a bot journey start? First, you have to find something that means something to you. There's no better way, okay? Something you want to achieve, because you'll be so enthusiastic, and it will give you so much energy that you'll be successful, okay? If it comes from your heart. My first bot was about my kid, and I wanted to help her with the keyboard, and she was 4 years old, and it was a bot that was just basic. She could say hello to the bot, and it would give her some pictures, depending on what she was asking for. Okay, then it helps with the keyboard, and you can go much further. It also helps with the spelling. If you don't spell right, you don't get your picture. And you can take it to the next stage by saying, hey, the spelling wasn't correct. Can you try that? And there's a lot you can do. And that was a fun bot. Then this is, I've got a lot of colleagues that are crazy about bots. And this one has got a front door camera. Then sometimes he just doesn't know who's in front of his house. Then he just asks for a picture. Or, I don't know why, but he connected his toilets. Then he knows how many times he pushed the button a day. Maybe his kids were pushing it too many times a day. I don't know. Then he's got a very useful bot that does that. And I think it's an interesting moment where you start connecting. A bot makes a connection between something that is a device, an IoT, whatever it is, a physical device, with a human, okay? Because you start controlling things. And I don't know why, but when we talk about bots, we love cars. And I've got another colleague that he took the option on the BMW, and it's called Connected Drive, and now he's got an API where he can know where is his car, and how much fuel is left, and did he forget to lock it off? Is it locked or not? And he can also unlock it remotely. Then now imagine someone is delivering a parcel to you, they come to your car, they drop it, and then you lock it back. You don't even need to move from your office, from your desk. The person that owns the overall department I'm working for is called Jason Gecki. It turns out he used to own a company named Tropo, and he also is a very good Golang developer. And as he had a Tesla, he went in the morning, his Tesla to be ready to go to work. Then when he was finishing his breakfast, he did some kind of a driver, then asks the car, go out of the house and be ready to go. Then the door opens, the car goes down and waits for him to go. Okay, then this is the library. If some of you are interested, it's basic API, okay, Golang and code. And the nice thing about APIs is that you don't care about the language at the end of the day. If the API is clear enough, and now we have REST principles, REST standards, you can run an API with any language. A lot of people often ask me, should I go for PHP, Python, Golang, Node.js? I think just take the language that you are the most fluent with, and then pick the right framework. And this drives us to the next conversation. Oh, just before that, there's a bot I am thinking about building, and maybe you'll tell me if it makes sense. You know what the WAF is? It's a woman acceptance factor. Okay, it's at some time when you're a geek, you just bring. It can be also a man acceptance factor, because I see a lot of women here, and I'm happy for that. Then let's say it's a man acceptance factor. Then you are hacking so much that you're bringing some more devices. The living room has camera everywhere because you like playing, and then your woman just says, I can't stand it anymore. Then you have hit the limit point of the woman acceptance factor. Okay, then you have to watch out for that. Otherwise, you will have a bad life. Okay. Then the best way to do that is certainly to have a bot looking at your commits, and when you start having commits all day long and it doesn't finish, even at night, then the bot could warn you about that. Then this is my next bot, and this is the GitHub account of my wife, the mother of dragons. Yeah, I won't present you my children. Then this is fun bots. But bots are also very useful for the enterprise. Okay, then comes the enterprise bot. Okay, then now we want them to be rock solid and to give productivity to employees. But it's exactly the same functionalities at the end of the day. You ask for a service, you get the answer. Then this is a service we use a lot at Cisco. It's the room finder. It's a bot that talks to an Exchange server and just tells you now what are the available rooms. Then you just can run it anytime. Room available, I just ran it 2 hours ago, and if I wanted a room, I just could book it in one action. Then, what can you expect from a bot? You can expect a lot. Fun, controlling things, training people, doing some support, remote support, engaging in an enterprise process, getting some data out of Salesforce, or maybe engage with users, okay, so that they get directions and they have better orientation with your products. And what we see that the more you go to users and enterprise, the more you'll get money to build your bot. Then this relates to hosting. When you make your basic steps, it's a lot of fun. How do you host them? How do you make them secure? And then how do you go all the path to making them highly scalable and highly available? This relates a lot to budgets, and we'll talk a bit about that later. And the second part is that the reason why I want to highlight those budget aspects is that a bot is often seen as a toy, okay? And it reminds me of how we saw the mobile app about 10 years ago. Okay, we're just saying, oh, you're building a mobile app, it's a new toy. And a few years later, now we're having big budgets, okay? Hundreds of thousands of euros, sometimes millions of euros, just to build a solid mobile app, because it is critical to business. And I think we have to understand why that happened. And if we go through all this diagram here, we thought that we went from a very centralized approach, and then we wanted the computing and the features to be accessible from any device. And the mobile app brought us that, okay? But it's a very narrow scenario. And the bot, I see it as an extension, so that you can take an atomic action. What is the current number of visitors here, for example, today? And then, when I see it, if I want more details, I will click on a link, and I will go to the full dashboard, okay? But the first information, you want a quick access to it. And what the bot solves is that it has your identity, Okay, it knows you. You have an email, you're connecting to your platform, to your messaging platform, that it knows who you are. Then if it knows who you are and the platform is secured, you can access enterprise data securely. Okay? Then this is how you should introduce bots. I think just think of the next point to engage and take your users closer to the process. And then you'll get the money to create the bot. Then, that being said, let's go with code. What does it take to code a bot? First, you need a platform. You've got a lot of chatting platform, messaging platform on the market. Okay, then you will want your bot to address one platform. The platform will depend on your strategy. If you're running after end users, you will choose Facebook. A lot of chance, okay? If you're running for the enterprise, there's a good chance you will choose Cisco Spark. It's a collaboration tool from Cisco. It does not only messaging, but also video. And we have some video demos at the booth. And it can also help call you. You have audio, video meetings inside, in the same tool. Then you're just one button away from calling someone. The platform is secured end-to-end, which means that whenever you have a communication with someone, it's encrypted, and it's decrypted on the device. And the data also, when it's stored encrypted. And the keys, you can take the enterprise option to own the keys. Then Cisco doesn't own the key at all. Then it's all secured with your own enterprise keys. But at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a REST API where you can do get to retrieve list of people maybe, or posts on a room to create a new space, to start a communication, and you push a message with a post message. Then it's quick and easy to do, and that's what we're going to do now. Just before we go into the code, one last point is, how does your bot will communicate with your code? Okay, then I will have code on my machine. Then I've got this messaging platform in my pocket. Shoot, I lost my mobile phone. Okay, I will have to find that back later. If someone finds a mobile phone, I'll be interested to get it. Maybe it's over there. Thank you, Barbara. Then you start chatting with the platform. The message goes down to your code, and you post back to the platform so that the message is displayed. Okay, then it's just these messages. The trick is, when you're on your developer machine, you want to test your code, then usually what you need to do is you need to expose your machine, the port where your bot is listening, on the internet. Then what you need is a tunneling service. There are a lot of free tunneling offers. The two more popular are Ngrok and Local Tunnel. Then Local Tunnel is full open source. Then you can even run your Local Tunnel server. Ngrok is much more easy to start with. Then let's see what it means to create a bot end-to-end and to see the scenario. Then let's say you have your bot. Then you go to your platform, your developer platform. And in my case, it's developer.ciscospark.com. And there you will ask on your platform, I would want to create a webhook. The webhook is what will register my bot and will say this is where my bot is laying, where you should post your message. Then I will go to the API. I will choose Webhooks. And I say I want to create a webhook. Then let's go for that. I create a webhook. As I am logged in, I can switch to test mode on. And now this documentation is interactive on Cisco Spark. Then I can say now I am at Pixels Camp. And I want to push a message somewhere. Where does I want to push it? On my local machine. Then now I am in a terminal. I will start Ngrok. Let's say on port 3000. Then I ask Ngrok to start the tunnel. and ngrok returns me if I have network connectivity. Yes, I have. And returns me a URL here that is an internet URL. Okay, then this is my exposed domain reaching my machine. I pick it. Then I go back to my webhook, and I say, now I want you to post anything that happened on Cisco Spark that concerns me as an API, as the API user, the owner. My token is there. And if you have a bot, you would create a bot token so that anything that concerns the bot would be sent to that endpoint. And you can even add a secret to the moon. Run. Okay. Then now I've just created a webhook, which means that if I come back to ngrok here, see, no message yet. Now if I go to my messaging platform, and let's say I will create a space where I will start chatting, pixels, camp, talk, demo, and I create it, and then see there, I've received 2 messages, 2 posts from the platform. And I will have to plug something. There's no code yet, but the platform is posting. And then let's see what the message are. ngrok proposes a web UI, so that you can just know what's going on. Then if I hit this web UI, I see my 2 posts. The first one was the event saying, it's a JSON payload, saying a room has been created. And the second one is a membership has been added. Someone has been added to the room. Okay, it's me. There's only 2 participants. And now if I start speaking in that room, hello campus, and congrats to the people that were here at 7:30. And we had a great time when we heard this Good Morning Vietnam audio. I don't know who was there. That was awesome. Thanks for the organizers for that. And then hello campus. And then now I've got a new message here. And if I go to ngrok, I will see my message has come, and it's message created. Okay? Then now I've got the communication. Then we understood what webhooks are. Now you plug behind some code that is listening to the message, and you post back to push a message. Got it? Basics. Then it's pretty simple. And now we want to go to the next steps. Next step is certainly here. You will be in an enterprise. Then instead of creating a tunnel like that, you would put a DMZ with a reverse proxy that will, like a website, okay, or like a web API. It will take the call and will forward them to your bot. Okay. There are some tricks here with load balancing for webhooks, because you have to find a way to create the session affinity, because it's not a web browser or a TCP address posting. It's not the real user. It's a user posting through the platform. Then you will need to go, generally, you will need to go into the payload in order to do the session tracking. Okay. Then if you're interested in that, you type Spark, affinity, proxy, and you'll find some implementation that can show you how to implement such a proxy for the enterprise. I did the demo. This is what you will get in the enterprise. And now if your enterprise IT department know how to go to production for a website, they know how to go to production for your bots. The technology is exactly the same. Okay. Next part is, now I need to create my code, getting those messages and pushing back. Okay, then I can write everything, get the JSON payload and all that, but of course, the community has been working for all of us, and we are all proud to be part of this community. And then I think you have 2 main options. If you really if you're starting, maybe you're interested to go with a bot platform. They give you a lot of services and without coding most of the time, or they provide some extra services like NLP, recognizing the language in which a user is talking. But I realize that in most situations, as a developer, I'm happy with a framework that does a good job as getting the message and posting back. Okay. Botkit is, I think, the biggest framework for the Node.js community, the biggest community framework. It has thousands of stars. Then you will find a big community there. Airbot is a great framework for the PHP community. Microsoft has got a good framework for their platform. And I also made Botman for PHP. Then these are the main framework I use when I want to talk to Cisco Spark. And depending on my language, I will choose one or another. Generally, Botkit, Airbot, or Botman. And which means that at the end of the day, what is the real job of creating a bot? Then, it's as easy as that. The framework will do all the magic. It will spin off the local port 3000 in my demo. It will wait for a JSON payload to arrive. When the JSON payload arrives, it will look at the message, it will extract it. Then it will generally use a regular expression so that it will say, hey, I recognized a word, and behind that word hello, you will say, oh, okay, maybe you want to get some parameters, and then you post back, you create a message back. And then the framework will take care of posting the message back. The webhook itself, remember, we had to create this webhook in my demo earlier. Most of the framework, they create the webhook automatically. You just give them your local address, and they will bootstrap everything. Let's go with the demo. In the Cisco Spark community, we have, in Node.js, we have Flint and Botkit. They all have some advantages, and that's what I suggest you go for when you will choose your bot framework. You should just spend some time looking at the differences. Some of them are more stable. Some of them handle very well exceptions. Some of them have more plugins. Then, depending on your use case, you'll be maybe interested to switch the framework you'll be using. But the concepts will remain the same. The very good thing about Botkit, I told you, is that it can work with several messaging platforms. Okay? They started with Slack, and then they added the enterprise connector with Cisco Spark. Then this is the way they go to business. Then, what it takes to create a bot. Then I created a bot, as I had a lot of time this morning. And then you create an account, and then you want to start from something. And the best way to do that, I wanted to do a demo. I have this Botkit template on DevNet. And then it's with the Botkit template, the good thing of it, then it helps you. We will look at the structure. You've got this button, remix on glitch. I don't know who uses glitch. Glitch is some kind of a web IDE, and we will see it right away. It takes a GitHub, it spawns a container, and it starts what's in there. Okay? Then in seconds, like I just did, you've got a new instance that has been created, your code has been fetched, and now you're running live. Okay? Then this template here, it says I have some skills. This is what my bot knows how to do. Bot.js is where the magic happens. This is where I load my URL, my tokens, and I start, basically, my service. And here, this is where I will have to add my secret. How does I access the API, my token? And the nice part is that I have a lot of tokens. I already created one. Let's take this token. Yes, it's there. And I can go with to the moon. Okay, let's go like that. Okay, I save that. Then when glitch sees a difference, it automatically restarts the container behind the scene. Then now, if I go to show live, I see that my code is running, and it has a public URL, and automatically the code. Let's go through the code. If we go there, we will see that if there's a project domain environment variable, the webhook will be deducted automatically. Okay, and then the nice thing is that the glitch container exposes the name of my app it has dynamically created in this project domain variable. Then when the bot started, it did the registration to Cisco Spark as a webhook. Then all I had is to put my token. I didn't even need to tell what was the public URL. HeroQ does the same thing. And if you follow the tutorials, I will show you. It will spin off automatically this, bot and webhook. And then now, if I go to my bot name was, let's create a, I already created a space earlier. Then let's go back to the pixels. Yeah, I'm in it. Then I will add the bot. It's called skill. Oh, am I sure? I go back there. I will check. I have an health check that says his name is skills at sparkbot.io. It's a ping endpoint. I just ping him. Then up, I go there. I say I want to add skills. As I add it, the skills bot receives the message that is being added to a space. Then it's membership created from the webhook. It's a JSON payload he receives. When he receives that event, he answers. Let's go and see the code. Then go back to glitch. You will love this tool. It's really great for demos. And you won't want to code in it because it doesn't do syntax, okay? You can't debug with glitch, but you can really run very quick, something that already exists. Then if I go to the welcome skill, then here it is. Then when I receive the event bot space join, this is the magic of Botkit. He receives the event message created. Botkit created a generic event that will work for Cisco Spark, Slack, and all other platforms, which means one single skill for you, you receive always the same event. Then what you do is you create a message and you say, hi, so glad to meet you. And then depending on the identity, you add some formatting. Okay, and this is just the message I got. Got it there? And the nice thing about this code structure here is that all the skills, all the thing you need to touch is to add skills incrementally. And I like, which makes it very easy to reuse. You just take a skill and you put it somewhere else. 32 minutes, we'll have a lot of time to do plenty of other things. Then, you start with that. Next, what are the best practices? Then, we just saw that creating a bot, we saw how bots work. We saw how easy it is to create a bot, create a token, choose the right framework, and then pick a template and start creating your code. And generally, the biggest part of the work for you will be to go to your backend code. But you're safe, you're in your enterprise, okay? You're protected. Then you can go safely to your backend and bring back a message. Then be welcome-ish. Then the best, first thing when someone arrives and the bot joins the room, just say hello and explain what you can do. Second thing, help. Give help as much as possible. You can never be helpful enough. For example, if I type at bot skills, I want to do, I don't know what I want to do, okay? I don't know. What do you do? I don't understand. Help me. This is what I call the fallback command, okay? How do you add a fallback command? Then in Botkit, what you do is you add a skill and you say, when there's something that matches anything, you just answer, I didn't understand. Okay? Next part is, you will want this skill to be loaded last in the list. If you put it first, this is the reason why I've added a Z there, okay? Otherwise, it will be the first skill to answer. They are loaded alphabetically. Then, be welcome-ish. You saw that's one line of code. Help, you provide an help command, you provide a fallback command. And then you will want to go to the next stage. Because for the moment, I'm just doing, I see one word, I answer. what you will want to do, you will want to start a conversation with the user. What is a conversation? It's where you want to get some input from the user. Then let's say I will start this skill called activities. And what it does is I haven't loaded it in that demo. No problem. I will add another bot. The pixel scan bot knows how to do that. Oh, I've already got a room for him. Then now I will want to say activities. Okay. Then now you want your user to give you some input. And then you're starting a conversation. It's like a pizza. You want a pizza which size? Okay, and you give them the list of size. Okay. Once it's chosen, you will ask what's his favorite flavor. Then here it's the same idea. You type activities, and then now you enter a menu. And depending on the platform, you would have a menu, 1, 2, 3, 4, some keywords, or you would have buttons. Okay. It really depends on which platform you're going to. And this will change the way you format your message. But at the end of the day, it will be exactly the same conversation going through. Then here, if I type activities again, no, this is weird. Where am I typing? Activities. This is what I typed before, okay? The bot will just say, hey, sorry, I didn't understand you. Because I am inside a conversation where that keyword is not authorized anymore. And then it just repeats. Then how do you do that here? It's asynchronous call. Then I've got my code. He has to know in which conversation I am. I can have millions of users, and I have to keep the context of each user and know which conversation is going on. Yeah, you know how difficult it's to create asynchronous code? Yes. Then the framework will help you. If I go to the activity, I've got another one. I've got the color here. Restricted, this one. This one will do, what do you want? What is your favorite color? You give it some possible answers with the pattern. And if the answer is correct, you say something and you say next and you go to the next step. If the answer is not correct, doesn't fit a keyword, then you would do convo.repeat. And it will repeat the last conversation. And with those 5 lines of code, I did a menu where you have to type one of those commands. The next step will be here you do a thread. This is what we call the thread of conversation. Now what you need to do is to do nested threads or parallel threads. Okay? You go to another thread. It's like go-to. You go to another discussion, and depending on the answer, you go to another one. And the way you do that, threads, is just 1 line of code. You add, when you start, you say, I want to go to thread. Can you see it there? Let me show you. It's there. Go to thread. Ooh, I'm a very bad drawer. Sorry. I killed the thing. Let's do it again. You go to thread success. Okay? And here I declare, this is my thread success. Then now you can create as many conversations as you want. And the context from one thread to another, it goes through a key that is named answer. And then in the next thread, you get the answer from the user. And you can populate the context of the user. Do you like it? That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Now you're ready to create your bot? Let's go to the next steps. Now, 15 minutes before the questions. Then we did all that, and fallback commands, bringing conversations to the game. Now let's go to the next stage. Lessons learned. We can build a bot, you can create conversations, you can choose any language, you just pick the right framework. Now what do you need? What's missing? As usual, there's always something missing, guys. Otherwise, we wouldn't be paid for that job. Okay, and that's the reason why also we love this job so much. And then metadata. something that happens a lot of times is, who created that bot? What are they doing with my data? Okay? You don't know. You're just talking to a bot that you don't know. That's something. Then, what we are thinking at DevNet is adding some kind of metadata, some kind of specification that would be global to the industry, that would be called bot commands, let's say, and that it will give you some basic information, like, yeah, where is the code of that bot? Who is the owner? Who does that contact if I have issues with support? And the last value would be certainly, where is his health check? And the last value is also important. Then, first thing, the bot I just showed you before. Anyone? This one maybe? It was there, okay. If you add bot commands to it, it will expose the metadata about the bot. What's his name, what is the contact, what is his identity, and what is his health check, okay? This means this is the URL. If you check it, you know the bot is alive. And why is that important? Because of that discussion. I don't know if you see that sometimes, or all the time, is why is the bot down? It's just not answering. And you just want to know how to ping the guy. Then this is what the health check is for. We have to register the bot metadata so that we have a common database and we can publish those data all together. And we can check them regularly. And if we have those metadata exposed as in this format, like the JSON I showed earlier, then we're all good. We can have some kind of large database with some bots. They register. They give us some information about the version. We know when the version changes, because on the health check, see it here, we've got the version of the bot. This is the version of your code here. Okay? And this is the Botkit framework version I used. If you're interested in this discussion and you have made this issue, I will be at the Cisco booth for the next 24 hours. Then just feel free to join, and I will be happy to have you in the group and continue the conversation. Then, what are the next steps? Certainly to host your bot. Then, is it difficult to do hosting? We've got cloud platforms. In the cloud, it's okay. If it's on-premise, I said it earlier, there's a bot is like an API or a website, and we already know how to put them to production. Then it's not difficult, okay? It's just a task. The problem with hosting is money. Because as soon as you push something to production, you've got a server and you've got a team behind it. And it consumes resources. Okay. Then, two things to consider. Security. A bot is nothing more than an API. Then you will find the same security best practices of adding some kind of a gateway in front of your bot. It's basically a reverse proxy, so that whenever a call comes, you will have some monitoring. And you can have monitoring, you can check the authentication is there, you can do some logging, traceability of who is calling your bot, but also rate limitation. How many calls do you have from one person, so that you don't have someone abusing your bot of too many requests, okay? Then there are some tools existing. You can embed that code that does the gateway to your bot. You can embed it inside your bot, or you can choose to do the sidecar approach. You deploy an Nginx, for example, or a KDE server, this reverse proxy. It does the work like Kong, I am showing here. It's an add-on to Nginx. And then you forward the call to the bot. And your bot stays stupid. It just answers. It's just a Botkit framework, nothing more. But in front of it, you put some kind of smart gateway, API gateway that provides all those services. Most of the time, it already exists in cloud platforms and also in your enterprise. you just connect with a guy that provides this platform, and if it doesn't, you just go and pick one open source or buy one from a vendor. Then hosting. Then this is the security part. Now comes the money. And then there's a lot of way. When I start, I like doing HeroQ 3D nose. Everybody knows HeroQ 3D nose? Who doesn't use HeroQ 3D nose? You should. You love them. You just, if you know Git. If you know how to do a Git push, you can take your code, you push it to production. And HeroQ is a platform as a service. It will package your code and run it on production. The good part is that it will run it for free. If you have, it will be in one instance. It will be running 12 hours maximum a day. And after 30 minutes without activity, it will go down. And it takes 30 seconds to wake up, which is ideal for a bot. Because when someone is calling your bot, the first time it's going to be slow, but then you just have your bot running for 30 minutes. And if some people are working with it, it's still alive, okay, for the whole duration of the conversation. Then, if it's just a demo bot and you don't want to spend any money, just go with HeroQ. Okay. I will show you some labs that tells you that step by step. In 15 minutes, you're done. And some other cloud providers have free plans. And then I think the serverless platforms are also a great opportunity, because this is the price you get, and it's millions of calls a month for free. And if you think of it, a bot is nothing that this webhook that posts a JSON message and your bot that answers. It's nothing more. And this is what you can do very easily. And this is a code I wrote before, and now it's ported so that now it's a bot. I get a post, I go to the post handler, and the post handler goes to Botkit. And if it's a get, I just return the health check I showed before. And then you have, in one command, you can deploy it to Google Functions. Okay. Awesome. And then for the last part, I would like to go with demos. Oh, someone's calling me. The demo room? I don't want, it's me running the demo, it's not you guys. I will ignore them. Then, your bot can chat, but your bot can do more. I want to think now out of the box. What are the next generation? Where are we going? Then, first thing, when I think out of the box, I think my bot now is inside the platform. The bot I showed you, it was inside Cisco Spark. Then anybody that wants to run the bot, he needs to have Cisco Spark on his machine and to be a Cisco Spark user. Which is good, okay? But what if you want any user coming from your website to do a click to call, to start chatting with your bot? You would need some kind of widget that embeds all those features that then here, I was in the Cisco Spark desktop client. I've got the same on my mobile phone. I lost, and it's there. Woo! I found back. Thank you. I feel better now. Thank you very much. And then, this client, this Spark client, I've got it everywhere, okay? Android, iOS, and Mac, and Windows, and web browsers also. But now I want my bot to be responding outside of that. Then now I want HTML code. Then what we have, this platform, Cisco Spark, is a platform. It's not only messaging, it's a platform for developers. And that's the reason why it's called Cisco Spark for developers for this website. And then you've got some interesting features here. The SDKs. You've got some widgets. And I will show you how they work. You click to the space demo. And now I will add the name of my bot, Pixels Camp. The same bot, Spark bot.io. And I will start chatting. And now I'm just in a web window. It loads. It's a React component. It's a few lines of code. We're going to see it right away. And now I'm just having exactly the same conversation. What do you want? I want 2. I want to take a learning lab, and the bot will answer, okay, I hope it will answer if I got network connectivity and all that. Come on. I like when fix fails. Do you want to answer me? The 2 went, okay. If I go to the platform I was here, I received the 2, and it answered, okay. And it seems like my Spark client has the connectivity, but the widget here has some connectivity issues. Okay. Let's continue. Now, what if I want the same code, you want the same code to start in your own app? Then I have prepared a few demos here. Pixels camp. Code. Yes, it's here. I don't need that one anymore. I just need that one. Pixels board widgets. It's here. Okay. Then I can, here is a code to start a widget that will talk to Cisco Spark. Okay, I don't have any more code than that. It's just that. It's an HTML page. Okay, and it's all I have in there. Then it starts the components and works straight away. Then now let's launch it. Explorer. And I will, oh, this is not the right project. That's the reason. Widgets, good. This is the code I'm looking for. Then if I pick the bot widget, now I'm launching a new window. This widget works on Chrome and Firefox. And as soon as other web browsers support WebRTC, all the spec, it will run on other platforms. Then now see, I've got exactly the same interaction, and I can ask for help. And the bot will help me and answer right away. And it's programmable. Okay, it's my code running now. Then I got all the message type and events. I've got a callback here, and I can ask to receive the event and then start your stuff. Then now, my same bot through the platform is using a web component. But I want to go to the next stage, because this is still messaging. What if my bot could call someone? Then I will use some functionalities we have on Cisco Spark. Now I will call a SIP address. SIP is a standard under which you can do video over IP, audio and video. Then the same widget, through this flag now, I'm calling a SIP address. Okay. And this is the SIP address of the device that is just there. And I'm going to launch it now. And let's go. Then I'm calling the room in which there's a device, and I want to make a call. You want to call this space where we are all chatting? Yes. You want? Yes. I allow you to use my camera. Okay. I'm there. Oh, they don't care. You are more important than me. Okay. Then I would love someone in the room there to answer the call. That would be great. Please. The people I'm calling are this one on the board, just there. Okay, nobody's answering. Can I do a quick digression? Can they answer? Can you ask them to answer? That would be great for the demo. Okay. I'll go and shout. Can someone answer the board? Can you answer the board? Thanks. Yeah. Okay, I will restart the conversation. Board, talking, same widget, instantiating, connecting to the cloud platform, and now I'm asking, let's go and chat. through a video call. And there it goes, ringing over there. If we have network connectivity, because all this goes through the cloud and goes back to your clients, devices, and all the person connected. And sorry guys, it looks like we'll see that later. I will finish the presentation for now. Let's come to the booth for the people who wants to go further and dig into the code here and see the details. Then, if you want to go further, we have labs on DevNet. You can go from 0 to creating. Each lab is about 15 minutes. They exist in Node.js and Python. And we have some activities at the booth. You can win a bag. Is Zhao, who won the bag yesterday, in the assistance? Oh, okay. The bag is worth a lot of value. It has a Meraki gear inside. And you just have to white it. And if you guess the right white, at 5 p.m., you will check who is closer to the white, and you just get the bag. Okay, it's a professional bag. I have exactly the same bag for years, and it works. It's just awesome. And then you grab all the bag and all it contents tonight at 5 p.m. And we also have a coding challenge. Then you're free to try it. You go to GitHub and you do the challenge. And if you want to learn more, come to DevNet. And we have created an easy link for you. And again, at the Cisco booth, we will show it to you. You join, you can do the challenge, you can get your newsletters and access all those resources. And one awesome thing is that we also have some sandboxes. It's virtual environments. You can run them for several days. And in there, you have some Kubernetes and Docker platform. Then if you're new to all those, you can run them for free in your infrastructure as a developer for 7 days. And when it expires, you can ask for another one. Then it runs drone behind the scene, microservices, and it's a great way to, without any hosting platform and servers, you can start right away. Then I engage you, if you're interested in DevOps and CI/CD, to try this sandbox. Thank you very much. I'll take questions now. I hope you have some. One.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very interesting, but there were a lot of pieces and parts interacting, so maybe I missed what I'm about to ask you.
Okay.
The actual interaction with the bot, I saw something like it's a rule. So basically, like if the sentence contains that, then reply that. I didn't see any NLP or any API for NLP or something that creates some like meaningful conversation.
Exactly. Then, very good question. Then, how do you handle that? Then now you understand that from the platform, you will get this message. And this is exactly at this point, you will add a piece of middleware that will go to an NLP platform and will come back and will give you some information. The NLP platforms, they are pretty standardized with a notion of intent. Okay, then you will get this intent coming back, and from there you will say you want to branch to something or not. On your way to do that, and when you go with Botkit, there are plugins to several platforms. I like Recast.ai. They do a lot of things in open source. If you don't want, then there are some implications. First is you will add an extra step for your bot, which means latency and fragility. Okay, price, they are costly. And then you will want to ask yourself, when do you want to take that path? From my experience, when do you want to take that option? Okay. Most of enterprise bots, I know, the user you're working with, they are coming to your bot for some reason. They already know what they want to do. Okay, you want to control the device, you want to access a report, you want to do something. Then, just with regular expression checking and the conversation flow, you'll be in a context, you check for a few keywords, you'll be fine. If you want to go a step further, you can have some frameworks to do some keyword matching, okay, to do some recognition of words. And you can also install an NLP on your on-premise. It's one engine is called Rasa. It's an open source implementation for NLP. Then you could host all that on your servers without an external service, without all the extra latency. In my opinion, it's very useful when you engage directly with an end user. you won't control. Then this is the typical situation where you will want to either host your NLP or you will want to buy the service of a platform. A few bot platforms propose both. They propose you to host your bot and also to run the NLP part so that it will solve the NLP aspects. But then it also means that they have to provide the right connectors and all that, and there's just, at the end of the day, I think we're still in an environment where you will choose the best platform for your use case, the best bot platform for your user use case, and also the messaging platform you want to work with. How good is the connector? Okay. With those choices, you will get in one direction. Like we do when we create a mobile app. You chose the best framework for the type you ask, do you want to do geolocation? Do you need sound? Do you need video? And all that. And when you have all those requirements, you choose your implementation framework. Then I would go the same path with NLP. Wait before using it, because I showed you it can be done. This concept of conversation can be done very easily from code. Then go to it when you really have a need. I see too many people that go straight to NLP and use a platform and just put it there, and then you just, you conversion it the way you like as a developer, you extending it, going to your enterprise data, it means creating VPN tunnels, and getting some security issues, and also, okay, then you don't want to go there if you don't have very good reasons. That would be my takeaway on that. Is it okay? Any other question? Okay, then let's do some